Welcome back, people, to Total Hotspurs, and we are live today. Newcastle versus Tottenham at St James Park, and some exciting news. Before we start, we will have a special guest today. Elias from Step Up Spurs will be joining us just as the game kicks off. If you didn't see our video this morning, would have been about 12 hours ago. We did a 2-hour live stream on his channel, so make sure you go over to Step Up Spurs. And give him a like, give him a follow, sub to his channel, and hopefully, that helps him out and helps us out. But how are we, people? How are we doing? Hope you're all good today. It's currently 10:30 at night here in Australia, but we're ready for a big game today. And surprise, surprise, something new has happened today. And before I go into that, Dean, how are you, brother? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Tottenham aren't playing a five at the back. I'll just bring the line up here now for you, and we'll get into it. So we have Lloris in goal with Porro, Romero, Dyer, and Perisic. With Højbjerg, Sarr, and Skip playing in the middle, with Kulu, Kane, and Son up front. So Stellini has now gone 4-3-3. Due to the abysmal defending from last week. Shout out MBR, how are you, bro? I appreciate you coming back. What do you guys think of this? Looks like Stellini either has listened to the fans or he's run out of ideas and has realised this team cannot play the formation that Conte had us playing. I'm, for one, a bit sceptical with the likes of Porro and Perisic playing as the right and left back. They're both wing backs. Well, I don't even think Perisic is a wing back. I think he's a winger. So, we're going to be very open defensively. However, I kind of did see City play this in their game against the Champions League game against, I can't remember who they played against. But they had about 5 defenders on the pitch, which if you put, the likes of Sarr and Skip in that with Romero and Dyer, that can count as 4. I don't know. People have been sussing out, maybe thinking that Højbjerg or Skip or Sarr might play in the left-sided centre-back role. But for me, I think it's going to be a 4-3-3. I'm excited to see what happens. I don't know how we're going to go. It is crazy to think that we're playing against a top 4 team and we're deciding to change the formation for the first time for the whole season. So, but this is what we've all been calling for. So if it fails, then they're going to say it fails. If it works, then they're going to say that they didn't have the personnel. The likes of Langley, who's still coming back from his injury from last week. And my score prediction, if you did see the video 12 hours before on a Step Up Spurs, I predicted a 2-2 draw. In our preview, I did predict that we would lose. But, the supporter in me, the love of the club, I'm like, I've got to try and pick a positive result. I've got to be optimistic. Newcastle are hot and cold, just like we are. So this is going to be a game where it can go either way. But for me, I think it'll be a 2-2 draw. I think the likes of Kane and Son will get on the score sheet. I'm liking your prediction, MVR, 3-2. And then you are right. I don't really want Højbjerg on that pitch. But if we're going for a midfield 3, he's the only other centre mid that we have to play in that formation. I think if we're going well, they'll transition into a back. They'll bring off Højbjerg or Sarr or Skip and bring on Davies or Langley to put a back 3 to be defensive. So I think this is what we should have done all season, is transitions between these 2 formations. When we did have Langley, when we did have Royal playing, Davies was fully fit, I felt like we could have switched to this formation if and when Conte decided to, but he was stubborn with his decisions, and it looked like Stellini was doing the same thing. However, he's made a change, and maybe there might have been a conversation with the club, with maybe even Ryan Mason might have pushed it. I'm liking your prediction, though, MVR, of a 3-2 win. I would love a 3-2 win. And you say it's because of the new formation. And I think this is going to work. I think this will... I think Højbjerg will play the more attacking role, leaving Skip and Sarr to defend. However, or they can transition. Sarr and Skip and Højbjerg may be able to transition in that pushing forward because Skip has gotten ahead, gotten up the pitch. a lot this season. And what this does as well is helps us push higher up the pitch. We have that extra midfielder to help Kane, Son, and Kulu put pressure on the playing out from the back. And Newcastle do play out from the back with the likes of Nick Pope, Trippier, Dan Burn, Botman. They will play out from the back as most teams do now. So having another person up the pitch to put pressure on the defence is helpful. But the only thing is what's worrying is now Isak is up against either Dyer or Romero. Now, we did have a discussion earlier on about him against Lenglet or Dyer. However, that kind of eliminates the possibility of him being up against Lenglet because Lenglet is really slow. But I'm hoping that Romero takes the mantle of taking on Isak because he's good in the air and he's quick. And I'm hoping that with the likes of Son and Kulu playing, I guess it's more attacking, so we can play higher up the pitch and we can play through the middle. We might be able to pin back Trippier a bit more so they're not swinging in balls into the box. And NVR, you're not wrong. I wanted to see Danjuma today. I felt like Danjuma has looked lively when he's come on. Obviously scored a goal against Bournemouth that got us level again. Obviously we lost with their late goal straight after that. But Kulu should have been dropped for me. I feel like he's had a shocker since he's come back from injury. He hasn't scored, or I think he's only scored one goal. Hasn't really assisted. His movement seems off. His crossing seems off. But apart from that, I think I wouldn't start Richarlison. I don't think he plays well on the right. And I think Danjuma was the prime choice. And again, reiterating that, I do think Danjuma should have gotten a chance to start. I'm hoping if things aren't going well, we start changing early. So I want to, if we're not going well, if we're 1-0 behind or we're level at 60th minute, I want to see the likes of Danjuma coming on. Even if we stick to the 4-3-3 and transition Kane into that, that false nine, behind the striker role, and stick on Richarlison as well, and have Kane, Richarlison, Danjuma, and Son, and have Kane as he was coming deep at Bournemouth, he was coming deep at Brighton. Having him in that role where he can feed the guys up front would probably be, for me, the best formation and option that we have. But I think we're going with a more, I'd say, it's kind of everyone's sticking to the position at the moment. But for me, I wouldn't, if I was to change it, if I was the manager, I would tell Kane to drop in that false nine role, as Dean has mentioned. He plays there anyway, pretty much. And then have runners off the shoulder of Son. Imagine Son, Richarlison, and Danjuma running off the shoulders of Newcastle's back four. Kane getting in the pockets and just feeding forward and getting in behind the line. I think that's our best bet if things aren't going well. The only thing is our midfield three, they don't move the ball as quick as I would like. Skip probably has the best vision of passing in terms of getting the ball forward or cross field. Højbjerg seems to like a little lifted ball over the top. Sarr really hasn't shown much passing range. He hasn't had much opportunity, but he does carry the ball well, especially out of our defensive area. He's played a few games where he's tackled the striker or the cam, pushing forward to our defensive line, and he's stolen the ball off him and carried it to the halfway line. And I think that's really going to help. It's kind of like a Dembele kind of run. If he can start doing those today, especially when Newcastle are attacking, because they're going to push players forward. With our defence, especially with how shocking our back four is, I do think they're gonna come at us attackingly, and they're gonna try and feed down Trippier with his crossing down the right hand side. I'm not sure who they're playing as left back, so I'll read you out their formation. So they have Pope in the back with Trippier, Schär, Botman, and Burn. Longstaff, Bruno Guimaraes, and Willocker in the middle with Joe Linton, Isak, and Murphy up front. So how are you, Lee? Welcome back. Welcome back 12 hours after the stream earlier on today. And no worries, MVR. If you come back, hit it, you know what to do. Hit the comments. Let us know how you're feeling about the game at halftime, and hope to see you back. And while you're here, guys, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We enjoy creating this content for you guys, so we'd love to appreciate to see if you guys like the content. But looking at their team, the likes of Dan Burn and Shah, they're not that quick. So the likes of Sonny and Kulu should be able to get in behind. In the midfield, Willock does push high up the pitch, kind of plays like a second striker at times. So with the midfield three, hopefully if Sarr can steal the ball off Willock or Longstaff getting in behind Isak, he might be able to carry it forward. And with the counter, we should, with the likes of, Trippier's not that fast, Dan Burns not that fast, Botman is quite good. And then because we were linked with him as well, which would have been a great left-sided centre back that we should have went for before Newcastle got him. And then Shah isn't as quick as they would like. So for me, the counter is going to be the best, as it always been for us. We don't really have the creative outlet to play the ball around tiki-taka with three in the middle. However, we do have to make sure that Joe Linton isn't carrying it from the midfield. It's saying he's playing on the wing, but he plays more of a midfield role. And that's where the likes of Sarr and Skip are going to have to contend with, Bruno, Willock, Longstaff, and Joe Linton in and around the middle of the park carrying the ball. I'm not too worried about Murphy. I don't, he's a good little winger. He's got a bit of pace. Can whip a ball in, but he's probably their weak link in their team. But Isak, he's quick, he's strong, he's tall. He was dubbed the next Zlatan, as they say. Don't think he's reaching the heights of Zlatan, and I don't think he will, because Ibrahimovic is a freak. But he is a good little player, and he's probably the one to watch. He's come back from injury and played fairly well for Newcastle, and I feel like once he really understands the league and understands the defenders, he's really going to hit form and start scoring 20 goals a season. So he'll be the guy to shut down. I'm hoping Romero has a good game, isn't too rash, isn't too aggressive as he usually is. I want him to be aggressive, but I don't want him to be rash and make stupid decisions like he sometimes does. So while you guys are in the comments, can you let me know your score predictions, guys? What are we feeling? Do we think we're going to get the win? And who's the player that you're looking at today for Tottenham to really put a stamp on the game? I'm hoping he's been playing well lately, and I'm really hoping Skip has another good game. I feel like if Skip has a good game, the midfield, regardless of how bad Hojbjerg plays, the midfield still is present. Last week we weren't really present, but if it wasn't for Skip, I think Bournemouth would have had a field day. They would have just annihilated our defence like they already did, but it would have been even worse. So Lee, you're going with a 1-0 to Kane to score. You did predict that earlier, and I mean that is a likely outcome, considering that Kane is, even though we're not playing well, he's on a rich vein of scoring, and he will want to catch Andy Cole in the top EPL goal scorers. I think it's Andy Cole. Rooney. Sorry, Wayne Rooney. I got it wrong. He already passed Andy Cole. I think he's only a few goals away from that. So that'll be, a great landmark for him to reach for the end of the season. But 1-0, I'm not going to complain about that. As long as we don't do what Dean has just said and not back down after we score. We've done that 2 games in a row now. We went to Brighton. Sonny scores in the first 10 minutes. We seem to just let them back into the game. Last week, we went to Bournemouth. Sonny scores in the 7th minute, I'm pretty sure, and then we let him back into the game. We cannot do this to Newcastle. Newcastle are a much better team than Bournemouth, and they're slightly better than Brighton. And they have gone to teams this year and beat them convincingly. And the defence, I feel like, is better than ours. Our midfield, I feel like their midfielders are much more solid. Bruno Guimaraes is a very good centre mid here, and Willock can join the attack. And Longstaff, Longstaff is Longstaff. He's box to box. He's Newcastle through and through, so he's going to be up for the game, hands down. And then Joe Linton in his new role in the midfield has been really, really good for Newcastle. And like I said, Isak, he's the problem child there. So we're looking at, I think, Dean, what's your prediction? If you can, I know you're a United fan, but I appreciate you joining us. What are we thinking? I'm thinking a 2-2. I'm thinking a probably Willock will probably score because he's ex-Arsenal, so he'll be destined to score against us. But like I said again, guys, I did a live stream with Step Up Spurs with Elias over there this morning or 12 hours ago, I should say, because it's not always it's not the same time zones. Make sure you go over to Step Up Spurs. I will post his YouTube channel in the comments as soon as I get the link. Go over to there, show him some love, subscribe to his channel, like the videos, and yeah, make sure you're doing that for him because he got great content over there. So without further ado, we're just about to start walking now. So Dean's looking at a 1-1 or 2-2. I think a draw at best. We did a little poll in our Facebook group, and we kind of I kind of predicted only 4 points in the next 5 games. I felt like we'd only get a draw against Villa and a win against Palace. I didn't expect us to get a point today or points next week. However, you never know. We seem to play better against the upper teams, and the lower teams we seem to fall apart. So Newcastle have been very topsy-turvy this season too. They haven't shown a great vein of consistency in form. So let's hope they show that today, because we really need to put them to bed. And it's showing... Oh, wrong stream. I don't know why it's showing the Bournemouth. That's all right. So Optus Sports just had a bit of a hissy fit. It was showing me the West Ham Bournemouth one instead of the Tottenham Newcastle. So what that means for us, though, if we play today and we beat Newcastle, it will not help us in the position of our table, but it will help us catching Newcastle. So currently we are sitting 5th with 53 points. We are 3 points behind Newcastle, but they have a game in hand, and they do have 12 goals scored more, or goal difference. If we do win, we will still be sitting 5th, but we'll be 5 points clear of Villa, who got a draw, I'm assuming. And they've played a game more. We have a game in hand. So this is a very important game for us if we want it for our top 4 aspirations. And it's for me, I've always said top 4 isn't what I want, because I don't feel like the team, we don't have the team, we're not good enough yet to actually play in the Champions League, or at least compete. However, we need to do what we can to solidify top 4. That's just pretty much it, guys. And before we carry on, I do want to shout out to the family back in England and everyone back in the UK. Happy St. George's Day, as Lee has pointed out. We have our Australia Day here in Australia in January. So hope you guys are enjoying your day. And yeah, Dean, I mean, like I said in the group chat earlier, bro, De Gea and Maguire really let you guys down. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, I don't think they should be playing for you guys anymore, but it is what it is. Optus Sports still showing the Bournemouth West Ham game on the Tottenham link, so hopefully they actually give us... Oh, Karius. No, Karius is not starting. Well, Karius was starting for bloody Newcastle then. Hopefully it shows us the right stream before the game starts, because I don't want to be watching the battle at the bottom of the table. Yeah, so excited to watch this, to watch us play a 4-3-3. I'm hoping we do play through the middle. I'm hoping we still don't lump it up forward like we always do. Because every time we play with a midfield 3, we seem to always still transition through the wingers and just lump it up to Kane, Son, and Cooley to control. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch over. I'll do it now because it's showing me the Bournemouth West Ham game. I'll select the Bournemouth West Ham game and see if that gives me the proper stream. Watch it happens. We'll click on it and then it will switch back to Tottenham. Oh, thanks for that, Dan. Lucky you checked it for me. Appreciate it. Yeah, I just jumped on there now. I can see it. I don't know why they switched it. It makes no sense. But yeah, the good thing is with this three in the middle, it helps us not be run over in the midfield like we have been nearly every game. I did say Skip had a decent game against Bournemouth, but we were overrun in midfield yet again. It was like we had no one there at times. So, and it's been like that all season though. We've had very poor games like the Leicester game where we switched it to a 4-3-3 and Son got his hat trick. I do think that playing in this league, most teams play three in the middle, and we have to match that. We don't have the players or the pressure up top with the way that with the style that we play to play two in the middle, and we don't play them. We don't have any creativity going forward, so it really teams just come at us and are able to just keep going at us, irrespective of what the caliber of attackers that we have. And that's what's really hurt us this season is teams aren't scared to come at us because they know that if they pin us in our defensive area, if they come at us all the time and they shut down the long balls to Kane, Son and Kulu or whoever's up front, then we can't do anything. The only good thing is that Kane has taken the burden of dropping deep and feeding, and the fact that he's done that this season and still got 20 plus goals in the league is quite insane. So players are in the tunnel. Trippier is saying hello to all his ex-teammates. What will we kill for having Trippier back this season? He's been probably the best right back in the league for me. Stats don't lie. And the fact that he's playing against us today is criminal. But the only thing I would change in this team, if it was me, if Davies was fully fit, I would have played him at left back because he's a natural left back. We signed him as a left back from Swansea, and then probably Forster in goal. I know Lloris is a great shot stopper, but he hasn't been great this season or the past couple of seasons, and I feel like Forster is the informed goalkeeper for us. So I'm hoping he has a good game though, Lloris. As much as I feel like he's been poor this season, he has been at our club for 11 years, so he'll be getting his own testimonial once he leaves. But St James is a fortress. Well, not fortress this season in terms of defence, but you're looking at the atmosphere, and I just hope this doesn't affect our players because Newcastle is a hard place to go at the best of times. But so I think we can actually, if Kulu can get on Burns' side, because Trippier will know Son inside and out. For me, I'd go down the right side. I'd tell Perisic to sit back, have him defend, and I'd tell Porro to try and overlap Burn. Burn isn't that fast, but he's tall, and he's quite defensively aware, positioning wise. So I would be telling Porro to have a field day and Kulu to try and cut in as much as possible, and feed down that right hand side with Sonny coming in at the back post. And it's nice to see a 4-3-3. And the thing is, for me, if Perisic is quite is playing bad, we can bring on the likes of Mundell and Davies to slot into that left back role. I don't want to see a back five unless we're either defending a lead, a lead for me. And Lee, how do you think Porro will go? Well, Porro has been quite lackluster the last few games. I feel like that's a combination of Kulu not playing too well and Porro not being able to get overlapping him. I feel like he's having to defend a lot more than he should be with the back five. And I'm hoping today that with the likes of Sarr there, once Porro goes forward, Sarr on the right hand side can drop into that right back role like we used to do with Poch. And left hand side, Hotspur can drop into the left wing back role. CSGO from Twitch. No, my friend, we can't show the game streaming rights. So if you're here for the game, unfortunately, you won't be able to watch it. You'll have to go and find find another stream to watch. So we're just about to kick off, but I'm excited to see what Sarr does today. First, well, couple of second or third start for Tottenham, but I think he's going to do well. Played really well next to Skip in the Champions League against AC Milan. So I'm hoping that he can shut down the likes of Willock and Longstaff pushing forward, and Joe Linton, and hopefully Højbjerg has a good game going forward to help Kane, Son, and Kulu. We'll see how it goes. But before we kick off, guys, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're hitting up the notification button so you can see all our future content. If you're on Twitch, make sure you're hitting that follow button. And we really appreciate if you guys are in the channel lurking. Hit up the comments. Let us know how you feel about the game. Let us know how you feel about the stream. And kickoff's about to make way. It looks like Sarr's going to be sitting in the defensive role, right in front of the defense, probably slotting in between Romero and Dyer, just like Dyer used to do under Poch. Is it the 4-3-3? Is that an indication that we're getting Poch back? We don't know. But it looks like Skip and Højbjerg are the ones pushing forward, and Sarr is going to be playing in that centre defensive role. And as I was saying, Skip used to have a good game. He lost the ball. As always, Lee, come on, you Spurs. Right, come on. Oh. One player I said that wasn't going to do well, and Jacob Murphy scores first goal. That was poor. We allowed Joe Linton to drift across the front of the 16-yard box and have a weak shot. Lloris has a weak hand and rolls it straight into Murphy's feet, and Murphy just slots it in like it's nothing at the back post. Our midfielder is unexistent there. Sarr pushes forward, loses the ball. Isak gets the ball. Gimmerich is there. Fucking Willock's there. No, Romero doesn't go forward. Højbjerg doesn't go forward, and then he just has a nice shot. I do not understand what is going on. Romero should have taken him. Skip should have went for him. Højbjerg should have went for him, and then they just allow him to shoot, and then Murphy gets it at the back post. That's disgusting. That's the defensive frailties that we have at this club. No one was willing to make a tackle. This is how the back four is going to go. It's going to be and that's on Romero there. Romero should have stuck a foot out at least. He didn't. He allowed him to drift across and allowed him to shoot. Oh my God. Newcastle are going to play out from the back nice and easy too. This is going to be a long game, guys. And the St. James's crowd is going off. This is really important for their Champions League ambitions. And if we lose today, I think they'll get it. Oh my God. This is why I don't think that we've actually tried a different formation, because no one really knows what they're doing here. And this is like Højbjerg should be pushing pressure there on Willock, but he's not. He's allowing him space. We're just allowing him space, and here's Willock. Oh my God. This is going to be a cricket score. Yeah, I mean, my prediction's still on point, but your 1-0 is out the window, mate, unfortunately. I hate the zonal marking from. Oh, at least, Dean, at least you mentioned that if we score first, at least now that we won't fall off. We're already 1-0 behind, so it doesn't matter if we fall off now. Oh, come on. We can't even make a proper Newcastle all over us. We can't even make a proper pass. That's a ball. Looks like. Oh my god, we can't even win a ball. Come on, boys. Oh my god, it's 2. Oh my god, it's 2. And just as Elias joins us here, I will bring him in 2 seconds. But just letting you guys know, it's 2-0 to Newcastle after 5 minutes. Give a warm welcome, guys, to Elias from Step Up Spurs. Bringing him in now, just after we went down 2-0.
Back 4, here we go. For all those who wanted back 4, there you have it. I mean,
What
guys,
a way to come in.
I told you all, though, for those of you who are watching, I think not many of you, the people here in your comments, have been the one that I've been trying to convince that back 4 is not the solution to the problems that Spurs have. And there you have it. I think it's just like first 5 minutes of the game, you already considered 2 goals. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, look, I wanted a back 4 for the season, but I don't think we have the players.
I told you, bro, we don't have the players. Like, how do you expect to play the midfield of Sar, Skip, and Højbjerg when you don't have a proper cam for a back 4? You don't have proper center backs for a back 4. Like, it's just not gonna work, bro.
No, it's not. It's not going to work, and that's what I'm saying. Why are we trying this formation now when we don't have the players to play it? We could have done this all season, tried it out, but looks like we're going to have to sit here and suffer. I'm not going to end the stream early, but I'll be definitely wanting to.
No, let's not end the stream early, bro. I'm gonna laugh at all those people who have been wanting back 4. Managers try things, did we not? I told everybody. I was on Football Terrace last week, and I said that back 4 is not gonna work. And one guy actually told me, "No, that's not true. The managers try things, we don't." I'm like, it's not trial and error in football, bro. So here you have back 4, guys. Seriously, enjoy it.
Yeah, they're just playing through our midfield like it's nothing. Joe Linton's having a field day on that left side as well. Porro defensively, and Romero has been bad already. He's not committed to the tackle. The only thing we're going to get them on is counter, and I don't even think we're going to be able to transition because we're already going back to Porro again in the right back role. So, I mean, you're right. The back 4 is quite horrible at the moment, but we'll see how it goes for the rest of the game.
Yeah, man. Seriously.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's 3-0.
My goodness, what did I tell you guys? Back 4, back 4.
It's within 10 minutes. We are the worst team in at the moment.
So all those of you who told me managers try things, we don't. The famous words from the man himself. If you're watching, there you have it, bro. Back 4. Not you. I'm talking to someone.
Oh my god.
We just switched
to a back 5 now. It's no point. Like, get Sar off or something.
This is gonna be the worst result of the season for us.
No one went to him. Sarr didn't put pressure on him. Dyer didn't put pressure on him. And the Reece doesn't even go for it.
I was at Football Terrace last week, and all these Spurs fans, they were actually saying like, okay, we need to try the back four system and all that, and our managers are just not afraid to try things, this and that, the tactics and the formation. I said this is not a tactic problem. You don't have the personnel in your team to play any other formation. I said it very clearly to every single person, and there I'm true. I'm not trying to be cocky, but it's just the occasion that I'm just enjoying myself a bit.
I mean, like I was saying in the preview, if we had the likes of maybe Royal and Davies, it might work. But the midfield, we don't have a midfield. The Højbjerg, Sarr, and Skipper are all the same player. We don't have anyone that's a defensive mindset player like Basuma, and we don't have anyone that plays in that camera. So it just doesn't make any sense to play it now when they're all out. It's Stellini's tried something, and maybe it's a ploy to show the fans that we're not good enough to play this formation.
Yeah, man. There's your back four, guys. I won't be surprised if before the second half we are 5-0 down.
I don't say that because I've stayed up to watch this.
I pity you, bro. Seriously.
I'm glad it's not. I'm glad I'm not working tomorrow because I would have stayed up to watch this and then gone to work in like 3 hours. So it's the only highlight of the night is that I'm not having to go to work. But they're just running rings around us.
Imagine those guys who have to go to work tomorrow after this horrible showing. Like your brother, I suppose. Is your brother working tomorrow?
Yeah, they all are. They just they're watching.
Guys, go back to sleep. My friendly advice: go back to sleep, guys. Don't ruin your day. I'm not working tomorrow as well. If I would be working, I think I would have gone to sleep as well. There. See the kind of passes that our team makes. Dangerous.
Yeah, we're not finding our players. It's like a hit and hope half the time. Newcastle are very, they particular with their passes. Their passes meet their players, and everyone knows their job. And they're literally just having a field day at the moment with no one. Oh my god.
If Stellini wants to save his repetition at least a little bit, I think he should change to a 3-5-2. Take out Kulusevski, put Son and Kane in front. If really you want to try something different, 3-5-2 may work. If you want to like avoid conceding any more goals, but even 3-4-3 cannot save the damage anymore. The damage has been done. 3-0 down in 11 minutes.
Yeah,
my goodness.
Yeah, that's we were all hopeful, optimistic for this game. I don't know. I've got no words at the moment. I'm quite stunned at how bad we are and how easy. And even with three in the middle, we don't seem to be able to find anyone in midfield. Skips on his. Come on, hit it. Oh, my stream just blacked out when Kane just hit it. I don't know if he scored or not. No,
nope, he hasn't.
No.
What minute are you at?
12:40. I might be lagging. I don't know why. Oh, Kane should have scored that. That was a great shot. It's a good little pass from Skip.
Kane scored, took one back. No, he didn't.
No, he should have scored that though.
Yeah, he should have scored that one. I'm at 12 minutes and 40 seconds.
Okay.
I think I'm like 5 seconds behind you.
Yeah, I'll just drop it back a little bit. That's what we usually do when we stream. We try and
all the chats are flooding. The ones where I told them that back four is not the solution. And
look,
I'm enjoying this game.
When you look at this, it's you're not wrong. You know what I mean? It's back four with these players, with Dyer. Perisic is not defensively good. Porro is not defensively good. The only decent defender that we have is Romero, and looks like he's having a bad game. And West Ham are up 2-0 against Bournemouth already. So it looks like
it just tells us how bad we are.
Yeah. We're
you have a goalkeeper who can't distribute properly. You have no creative attacking midfielder. Your strength is kind of like the creativity from your flanks, from the wing backs. And you gave away on that. I don't know what to say, seriously.
Yeah, it's you can't argue with the facts, right? And the thing is the reason why I liked Davies in that left wing back role because he was defensively better than Perisic. So if he wasn't doing anything going forward, he could help
I
out in
don't mind
defence.
Davis there actually. I prefer Davis over Perisic as well, as you said.
But I think Davies is on the bench today, but I don't think I think he'll get game time. I think he'll come on for Perisic towards the end of the game, and Lenglet will probably come on for the back
Is
three.
Langley on the bench?
Yeah, they both are. That's why it doesn't make any sense to play a back four when you have two defenders, and now we have no midfielders on the bench. So apart from Alfie Devine,
We look so rattled, bro. Seriously, I mean, you just look at the shape of the players.
mm-hmm.
It's looking bad, in my opinion.
And this is the thing when you play a formation that we haven't all season, and then you play it in a high-profile
In
game
such a
against a
crucial
good team.
game, yeah.
Yeah.
Like your back four hopes are on this game in a way.
Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. They're just finding channels
Guys, that's why
everywhere.
I always say that you start your best formation from the beginning because you have the energy. The other team is fresh. They can give you all that. You don't try things from the beginning like this. If back four didn't work last week for us when we tried it as towards the end of the game, how would it work for the entire game? Like it just doesn't make sense. And some of these guys, they're smart people, and they have been saying that okay, play a back four and all that. Like, come on, man.
So I've said it, but I've always said if we play a back four, you play Royal and Davies. If you're playing a back five, you play Perisic and
Yeah, I don't mind a back four
Poirot.
with that sort of like, let's say Royal and Davis on flanks, and then you have Romero and Langley at the middle. Not even
Yeah,
Dyer. I won't play Dyer there.
yeah, I wouldn't either.
Then
I'd play Langley and Romero.
and then you maybe play, let's say, Bentancur, Hoiberg, and Skip if they are fit.
Yeah,
Then a back four would work. But with this current squad and the injuries that we have and stuff like that, it's not gonna work.
yeah, it makes no sense
If
going
Sun is
back
making
five.
something,
It's no point playing a back five with the personnel that we have. And the fact is Sarr is coming into a game where he's playing a role that he usually doesn't play. He's played in the midfield too, like we usually do. So this is where we should have had the likes of Basuma, Bentancur. That would have, and then obviously Royal. If we had those three players, this formation may have worked. But you're right, the players that we have now, it's not going to work. It's just disappointing that we do this in a game that's so crucial for our top four hopes.
yeah, man.
Oh,
I mean, I've been. Sorry, I'm a bit too much on the back four thing, because I've been telling these people from the beginning and explain them with facts, with stats, like why wouldn't it work? Why with the player profiles and all that, and still these guys, like, they're so stubborn. They still want to play a back four. There you have it, guys.
Yeah,
Enjoy it.
This isn't the way we should have played it. We should have utilised this at the start of the season when we had a fully fit squad, not when we're injury struck and we're trying to solidify top four or at least compete for the top four. I think today they say if we lose today, all United need to get is 8 points in the last 8 games or 13
Something
points
like that, yeah.
for us to not make it, and then Newcastle only need the same. So if we lose today and United and Newcastle win 4 out of their last games, then we're not going to get top 4, and they're in again. Isak, it's 4. It's 4.
Oh, there you have it. I told you, I think before halftime we're going to be 5-0 down.
And Joe Willock gets the assist. Wasn't shut down. Played a beautiful pass behind Dyer, and Isak just a neat shot to the left-hand side of Lloris, or right-hand side of Lloris, I should say.
Let me just
I
see
think
what's
this might be a
happening.
half-time fucking route, guys. I think it might be a...
Let me see what's happening around the YouTube community.
Oh, I mean, I feel sorry for those Tottenham fans that have made that trek up north. Cooley gets the ball. Danburn.
It's a 5-hour drive or something like that.
Yep. Great ball by Willock, outside of the foot, straight over Dyer. Dyer can't even get back. Isak's just jogging, and he slots it. What a ball by Willock. Right behind that. That's a great ball. The Reese came way too close. Oh my God.
I think we scored a goal. Or we conceded. Let me just have a look.
Yeah, I think the Optus Sport stream's behind.
My stream is a bit behind as well.
But I keep refreshing it and it won't allow me to bring it forward. So I can't believe we're 4-0 down in 20 minutes. Nah, don't, Lee. Don't tell me it's 5.
It is 5.
Oh my God. So okay, I want to ask a question, guys. If we're 4-0 down in 20 or 5-0 down now in 20 minutes, is Stellini going to make a change, or are we going to see that? Are we going to watch this the whole game?
Let's just watch the whole game. Laugh at those happy clappy fans who wanted back for.
These guys have got no idea. These guys deserve it. The Reese has
I'm kind of enjoying it. I told I was this morning with you, right? And I think we both agreed that with Dyer and Romero at the back, even if it's Dyer and Romero, Alexander Isaac will just dance around the pitch, and he's doing the exact same thing. The way
he's got 2, Murphy's got 2, and who's the other one that scored? Our back 4 is asleep. Oh my God! What, like, Perisic, Dyer, Romero doesn't close him down.
This fan base deserved this. Actually, this fan base deserved this result.
Welcome in, Grumpy Grandpa, and yeah, you did predict to win. And it looks like we're getting laughed at today by the whole of the Premier League. We're getting absolutely demolished. Lee, I know you said it, but all season we've been talking about going back at the back 4 with the right players. But why do it now when we don't have the players to do it? You know, you play Royo out of position all season as a right wing back when he's a right back, and the one game that he isn't available, we play right backs.
These guys are so in the mud. I hope I get a link to go to Football Terrace today and have some good chats there.
I'm quite calm. I would be raging it if I was in full form. Dan, don't start bringing up 7-0 United, all right? You are a United fan, so I'll let you dig one in. But Sanchez is coming on. Oh, here we go. We're not even going to put Langley or Davies on. We're going to put Sanchez on. You know what, though? Part of me is glad that we're not winning this because we don't deserve to be in the Champions League.
Yeah, man. Seriously, I think it's embarrassing. But I do you guys think that now this result might be the kind of result that will totally get rid of Stellini and force Levy to like make a big move, like get Poch or get Nagelsmann, get Arne Slot or someone like that? But in my opinion, I think Poch would make most sense compared to anybody. Dan Davenport, Dan THFC is on. He's on a vacation. He's enjoying his time in Mexico. Lucky him. He doesn't have to watch this.
Well, welcome in, Dan, by the way. And I'm just going to say something now. I feel very sorry for Saar because he's playing in a position that he hasn't had to this season, in a formation that we haven't played, and he's the one that's having to be sacrificed for the naivety of Stellini. He shouldn't be playing in a game like this in a position that we haven't really trained for, and with the wrong personnel. It's poor on Stellini's part, and I think Levy made the wrong move by keeping Conte's man here when he got rid of Conte. No worries, Dan. I am Australian location, but I am English too. I appreciate all the UK fans. So whenever we're on, brother, if you can like us, subscribe to the channel, and then we can catch you on our future streams and our future videos. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, so Dan
Shout
is
out for you
usually
coming.
on at Watch Along with me at Dan THFC's channel as well sometimes. Good to
Cool.
see you here, Dan and Grumpy Grandpa.
Well, if you're right, if I was Nagelsmann, I'd be looking at these players and the way that the club runs with the footballing side, and turning around and going, "Do I really want to come here when this club is in turmoil?" And it's not just the manager; it's the players as well. We have a good
Yeah, a
enough
lot of
team.
factors,
So
I would say. Hold on.
I appreciate that, Dan. Appreciate it, mate. Thanks. And Dan, no, you're right. We don't have the players to do a rebuild. But the thing is, it shouldn't be a rebuild. We've had that many rebuilds in the last however long. Oh my God, son, what was that? We should be building a squad.
Exactly.
Ange, see, look, Ange is doing very well at Celtic. Being from Australia, everyone here bigs
Okay,
him up because
Kane
he
made
is
a
probably the
good
highest
pass to
profile,
Son, and Son is in a good position to score.
and he doesn't.
It's a
He tries
corner.
to.
It's a corner. He tried to
Um,
assist Kulusevski.
Yeah, but on that Ange, I'm not too fond of Ange. He does playing very attacking football, and Celtic look very good. And he doesn't care who he's playing against; he goes for it.
Ange
I
was
just
with one
don't
of the
know.
Australian teams, right?
Yeah, no, he's playing. He's managing Celtic at the moment. He did manage Australia, I'm pretty sure. But for me, I don't know about Ange. I'd rather De Zerbi, but the way he reacted the other day when we played against them, I don't know if I want that hot headedness in the team. And Kulusevski just skied it. But De Zerbi is a good shout. I wouldn't go near Ange if it was me. I feel like there's better Nagelsmann, Poch, even Potter would probably be better. But good shout out though. Amarim. Not sure what you mean by that, MVR. Can you elaborate for us, please, bro? I'm sure everyone's raging it in the
Yeah,
community.
man.
I mean, I haven't looked at my phone because I know for a fact it's blowing up. But this is just a poor showing, and it's just I think this result was coming. The way we've pulled out lucky draws, but lately we've been quite bad. The Lisbon manager, oh my God, Poro was so lucky there. Lisbon do play good football, and they're not scared. They came to us. They went against Juve. They only just lost in the two legs against Juve in the Europa League. So that's a good shout. I don't know if he'll come to us though. I think Sporting looks like a more attractive team than we do at the moment. I don't know how they're going in the Portuguese league, but Europa League semi-final or quarter-final. But they probably will lose their best players.
We are.
I didn't
These
know.
are.
I didn't.
Yeah, man. Deserby is another one probably who may come. I think right now, if we want to get a manager come into this team, it has to be someone who can play both back four and back three. Because I don't think we have any back three manager available at the moment. Like Nagelsmann, he plays back three. Then Poch can play back three as well. He did that quite well with PSG.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think Conte, we got rid of him.
Yeah. Well, on De Zerbi, if that's the case, I actually didn't know that. So if that's the case, it's Delaney. Who is he to say that when he inherited Conte's squad? The guy isn't even a proper manager. I know we all were singing his name at the start, mid-season when he was winning games while Conte was out, but Stellini is in no place to be saying that to any manager when he's not the main man himself. So, and you're right, we do need to have a look at the players that we have and fit a system. And I don't think Poch is a good shout purely because he plays high intensity and we have aging players that we need to get rid of in order to play that system. Kane and Son won't suit it anymore. And I don't think the likes of Dyer will. Romero probably will because he is he's quite aggressive, athletic. But for me, I think Nagelsmann's the main guy, but we have to pull him in if he gets
Apparently,
the
he's
players.
now our number one choice at the moment. Like the rumors and the way things are going in terms of the attempts to sign the manager, he's currently at the top of our list.
Yeah, apparently he's opened up
So
he's
now it's a
friends.
back three, right? I suppose.
Yeah, Davis and Sanchez is on.
Davinson Sanchez came for who?
Yeah, Sarr.
Sar.
Oh my God, that was a good little passage of play there, but Kane should have really latched onto that.
I mean, immediately since the back three has come, even though it's Sanchez, it's looking kind of better than what we were having with that back four.
Yeah, we look a bit more solid. We look like we
Yeah,
know what
we
we're
are
doing
looking a
now.
bit more composed at the moment, at least. Like we have more possession, and we are having attempts on goals at least. Like this Kane one could have gone in, but it was a poor touch.
Yeah, and Kule's getting more success down the right because Porro's pushing higher up the pitch.
Exactly.
I don't. You know what? Looking at it, it's quite poor to change a formation in such an important game. So it looks like you're right, Elias. And Dan, you're meeting a famous actor. Oh, Neighbours. I wasn't really much of a Neighbours watcher. I like the good old EastEnders, so I know my roots.
There's a corner for us now.
Stop justifying a 5-0. No one's justifying a 5-0. That's
Who's
disgusting
that?
from all the players. MVR, I don't know who's justifying it, but for me,
No, we are not justifying it. I think he's getting it wrong. I'm just saying that since we have moved to a back three, we have looked better than what we were looking with a back four.
Yeah. However, we shouldn't be conceding 5 in 20 minutes. Like that's just the be all and end all. We shouldn't be conceding 5 and
The game is gone.
We shouldn't
Like
even be conceding 3 in 15. It's the players have just they've dropped down tools for me. They're whinging at players and they're not even making an effort. And the players are better than what we're actually seeing out there. Like Newcastle don't have a better team than we do on paper. I don't think.
Yeah, our ladies side just scored. Somebody posted in the chat, goal comeback.
Can they come and play for our men's because they show more heart, and they're not that they're
I think the ladies
far
side
away
is
from the top of the
equally
league.
bad these days. Apparently, equally bad. They are about to get relegated because they are at the bottom of the table as well.
Yeah, that's because there's no investment from the club, and the highest investment they've had, I think, is like a $500,000 player or pound player. So,
yep.
Newcastle have had 14 touches in our box, and they've scored 5 goals off of it. Yeah, audio. I hope it doesn't ruin Sarr either. I feel like Sarr was thrown in a position he hasn't played for us before in a formation that we haven't played, and he's the one that gets pulled off. You could have equally pulled off anyone on the pitch, to be honest. No one's shown anything. We have looked a bit better going into a back three, but that's probably because Newcastle were 5-0 up and they don't really need to do anything. I can't see us scoring 1, let alone 5.
I don't see us scoring 1 either. I think it would be a 6-7-0 win for Newcastle, in my opinion.
Oh, I don't think it'd be that bad. I hope not anyway. Dan,
I mean, you're down 5-0 at 30 minutes, so why can't it be a 6-0 or 7-0 until 90th minute? They still have 60 minutes to score like 6 more goals, maybe.
Yeah, but I feel like they don't need to push. They don't need to press. They can just hold the ball. Oh, come on.
I wonder if, it's not a home game. I wish it was a home game, actually. That would have been, like, it would have at least given a bit of a barometer, like what our fans are made of. Like, do our fans really walk away after 5 goals or something happens? But unfortunately, it's not a home game. I would have loved this kind of result at a home game.
Yeah, see, I don't. I wouldn't. Look, at the end of the day, I can understand what you're trying to say, but for me, I don't ever want us to lose. And the fact that we're 5-0 down, 30 minutes, and they're just handing out yellow cards now because we're going in aggressive to try and take a hold of the game. It's just, I understand what you're saying, though. The home fans would really be giving it. Levy out would be singing. It'd be, you're not fit to wear the shirt. Stellini out, all that sort of stuff. But
There are football channels now on YouTube that are saying that Conte has just spoiled us. He has ruined us. He has made our team so stubborn. We can only play one formation. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can blame Conte, but at the end of the day, he called out the players and he subtly called out the club. And for me, it can't be every manager. We've had that many managers. We've had over 15 managers in the Levy era, and it's never Levy or the players. It's always the manager. And I'm going to say it. There's players here that have played poor this season that need to evaluate themselves. Like the likes of Højbjerg, he yells and screams, but he doesn't do much. Dyer's been shocking, but still thinks he's a great centre back. I feel for Sanchez because he gets no game time. When he comes on, he plays bad, and then everyone thinks he's the worst defender in the world. I think he would be okay if he got regular game time in a poorer team.
No, I
I think
disagree.
he'd be a better centre back.
I think he's past his time already.
Oh, it could be, but when you're only playing one in every 15 games, and then when you do play, you play shit. I mean, I think he could do better in a different team with a different league as well. I don't think he suits the league. Ajax is a poorer league, so he suits that.
Yeah, Ajax. Yeah, maybe but now the competition is kind of getting better in Eredivisie.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll ever get to the Premier League
Yeah, of course not Premier League.
competitiveness.
But one thing that's dying in Premier League is their fan base. I think the Premier League fan base is kind of becoming very. I don't know, like they don't exhibit that passion that lately we have been seeing in some European other leagues like
It's
Bundesliga,
not because of
Serie
lack
A.
of passion though. It's the way the Premier League has pulled restrictions on certain stuff, so you can't really stand in unless you're in a certain stand anymore. They limitate a lot of things that allow fans to be a lot more
Yeah, like the
passionate.
flags and all that.
Yeah,
Like you
it's
hardly
not the
see that
fans. I
stuff.
can tell you that now because when I was there, the fans are crying out to be able to be passionate and they can't.
Why are there so many restrictions? By the way, any idea? Is it like safety?
It's probably too because a minority of English fans have the reputation of being very aggressive overseas in Europe. So
Yes, true.
and at home, like I don't know if you know, but if you go to London and there's two teams playing in London, irrespective if it's Chelsea and Arsenal, Tottenham and West Ham, Fulham and Crystal Palace. It shuts down the whole city pretty much because they try and to herd the fans away from each other. So it can be very hostile, and football is like a religion, and it's like that in most European countries. And the fact that that the
Yeah,
Premier League
that's
just
true.
tries to limit all the aggression and all the passion out of fans to try and stop the hooliganism, as they say, of English fans. So for me, I think it's wrong. Here in Australia, fans can sit next to rival fans, and we drink. We're allowed alcohol in stadiums. We're allowed to drink before and after games. Sometimes the people on the pitch after games. So it's but rugby league isn't as I'm not saying they're not as passionate, but there's not so much aggression towards the rival fan in sport here. Whereas back home, it's quite it's like a gang. I know it sounds really bad. It's not like that, but the main word I can say is like you're part of a firm, you're part of your team, and you're not meant to like anybody else.
Yeah,
And they regulate everything, and that's why Premier League fans seem spoiled, or they seem like they're not as passionate as European fans, and most of the time it's because they're silenced by the authorities. So
by the restrictions that they have, I guess.
yeah, they have to because there is but the thing is, it's a minority of people that ruin it for the majority of people, and that's just the way it is in all cultures and in all countries. There's always a small group that just ruin it for everyone. We've looked better defensively, but Newcastle just seem to be like playing the ball like they don't really need to do anything. And they've got 4 up front with one of the midfielders slotting in as the cam, and then they have Bruno just sitting at the base, just defending the back 4. And we have Son, Kane, and Kulu all in our own half defending. And this could be 5. Oh, that's oh my God, Romero. They shot, so it shouldn't be a free kick. Romero
I have a
nearly got a
feeling we
red.
might even concede a red card soon.
Yeah, I
Either
think we
Skip or
will.
Romero. Skip isn't on yellow, I think, so he might pick up a
Yeah,
second
Skip's
yellow.
on a yellow. Kula's on a yellow. I think Poro's should be on a yellow too. He's had a few. That's
We
a bad
almost
tackle.
considered the 6-1. We almost considered a 6-1.
It's like you want him to score.
That's what I've been saying, that we should have gotten Isaac over Richarlison. Like,
Yeah, but Isak wouldn't have played as much because Kane. For me, it's yeah, we should have just kept Troy Parrott or Dane Scarlett and then strengthened in defence. They're both nearing their 20 years old. There's players in this league. Look at the Brighton striker. What's his name? Is it Edwards? He's 17 and he scored a few goals for him.
Yeah.
And Brighton.
It's all about the right
wow.
scouting and the right players that you buy in the right position, in the right system. And our club just doesn't seem to understand that. Like, it's as simple as that. I really don't know what to say, seriously.
It's actually lucky that you're here, Elias, because I'm very calm at the moment. If it was with my brothers right now and I wasn't on a live stream, I'd be losing it. And I'm quite glad that the boys didn't jump on that they were going to, because stuff going to work or finishing the game at 1 a.m.
I actually love those kind of watch alongs where people like go all out, because I'm rather calm as well, as you can see. I'm not like banging the chairs, but for those of you who know how Dan TFC is like that guy, Dan can tell you he would like go and sometimes punch his wall, shake his chair.
Yeah, I'm not that crazy. That's a bit too emotional. I don't physically hit anything. I just
so
I just cuss players.
The watch alongs with Dan are kind of like fun usually.
Yeah, I mean, what do we do? What do we do? Make sure, guys, that you are going over to Elias's channel, Step Up Spurs. I will be posting the link in the chat. Head over there. Make sure you like and subscribe to his channel and watch the live that we did 12 hours ago, but also look at all his other videos. And, make sure you're active commenting and catching him when he's next live, which will be probably tomorrow on the new Tottenham away. Will Steele at 365. Am I right?
Yeah,
you're going to be there live tomorrow with him?
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow with Will.
So make sure you're catching him live tomorrow.
Is it a public holiday in Australia on Tuesday or Monday?
Sorry, for tomorrow.
Yeah, is it a public holiday tomorrow in Australia or Tuesday?
Nah, Tuesday. The
what
25th.
Public holiday is it?
Anzac Day. So it's to celebrate the soldiers that fought in the war at Gallipoli, the New Zealand and Australian soldiers. It's nearly 6. Long stuff. So yeah, it's kind of like a Remembrance Day, but for us it's Anzac Day, to celebrate the Anzac soldiers that went to war. But yeah, we're so lucky that took a deflection. I don't think Lloris was getting to that. That would have been 6.
It was a good try.
I'm going to say it. Sanchez has been our best defender since he's come on, and I don't care what anybody says. Romero's been shocking. Dyer's done nothing, and Sanchez has blocked and and actually made some tackles.
It's a corner. Okay, one thing that I don't understand is that why our CBs have a tendency to return the back of the ball rather than facing it from the front.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if it's a tactical.
Like, if you play football, I don't know if any of you guys in the chat who play as defender, maybe for your league, like for us, I know that 45 degree when I used to play, you have to have in one-on-one positions, you need to move your body in a 45-degree angle so that you can maximize the space that you have. But I don't understand why we turn our back toward the ball. That part I don't understand.
No, I don't either. Yeah, Lee, I know we're lagging. I've had to refresh my stream's just too slow, unfortunately. So I know we're a bit behind, but it is what it is. I'll try and restart my stream.
I'm at 43:29. Am I too behind as well?
I think Optus Sports it's behind. Depends. I think it depends on your connection of your internet too. I was lagging from the start, whereas
It's
these
ringing
boys
now.
are getting goals. I'll read, but I don't know. Like, it's also with our tactics and defending. When it comes to positional play and defending on corners, we seem to play zonal as opposed to man marking, and that's why we look really bad defending corners as well. We don't seem to mark, and we always put Skip on our biggest player. The other week when Dunk scored, we were putting Skip on him, and I don't understand how that makes sense
Yeah, it
when
was
he's
Skip.
one of our shortest players.
I mean, both have their advantages and disadvantages. Man-to-man marking, then you need a very consistent formation. But I guess the problem comes in is 3-4-3 is one of the issues that you cannot figure out a proper man-to-man marking. Like if you're playing the same formation, then it's kind of understood that you kind of defend the opposite formation or the opposite
Yeah,
player.
but there's teams that play the same formation as us and can defend better at corners. I don't think. I think that's just, you need to figure out who's staying up and who's staying back. It's a matter of, Kane should always stay back because he's not quick and he's better in the air, and better defending than Son and Kulu. So for me, I'd have Son on the edge of the box and Kane inside marking probably their striker, because he is our best. He defensively, he's our best player in defending corners. He always seems to clear it. He's always there when the ball's landing. So Newcastle are just toying with us here. We don't even look like, no one's running forward. Skip's sitting back. No one's sprinting, getting forward. All they seem to be doing is just oh my God.
Look at us. You're back on with the protesting. Listen, everyone in the chat here, guys. Some of you might go to games, some of you might not. And I will say this now. If you genuinely can't stand this ownership, we can't either. Go for the protest.
I don't even know what to say, guys. Everyone can see what's going on. Sanchez has got 2-on-1 here. You know what shit? We've just taken off Sarr, and he doesn't even. And Skip has a yellow card, so we have no one else in the midfield to replace Skip. And that is half time. Newcastle 5, Tottenham 0. And I don't even know why I stayed up for this.
So much fun going on in this YouTube community, I tell you. A lot.
This is actually disgusting. There's no excuse by the players, by the management, but we should not be down 5-0 at halftime against this Newcastle team that have been so inconsistent this season. And even if we pull 5 goals back, it's actually disgraceful that we're in this position. So, as we always do, guys, at halftime, we'll be taking a short break because it is late for us. We always go and grab a coffee and that. So, guys, we'll be having a short break.
So the people who were saying Conte out and all that, now they're saying like, okay, go for the protests and all that. Like now they're saying that go for the protests.
Well, I mean, enough is enough, right? Sometimes it takes people different reasons to react and want to make a change. But we will be doing a short break, and we'll be back soon, guys. So make sure you come back. Welcome back, guys, and just had a quick, toilet break, gathering my thoughts about the game, and this is a disgrace. Like, I don't care if we're playing a 4 at the back, 5 at the back. I know that Elias brought it up many times that he didn't think it would work, and you know what? He's right in a certain aspect because we don't have the players, but we shouldn't be. We shouldn't honestly be. 5-0 down. We shouldn't be. Not with the players that we have. Not with the pressure that's on us and the stakes at hand. We really should be, pushing. Every player should be running. Every player should be playing like their life depends on it, and they're not. So I'm going to bring Elias back in, and we're just going to have a quick chat before the second half starts. Welcome back, Elias. Quick short break there. Now that you have 5 minutes to gather your thoughts, you're still back in your thing of the back four not working.
Back four is not working definitely. So I mean, but what can we do? They have already changed the formation at the moment, so it doesn't really matter now. I guess now the key is I'm realizing that our goal difference is less than United now. So earlier our goal difference was better than United at the moment. So we need to avoid conceding goals at the moment because we can go even worse than Villa. Because Villa has a goal difference of 4, we have a goal difference of 7, and United has a goal difference of 9. And when it comes to the business end of the game, all of this will matter a lot. So if we can, we need to avoid that.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't think that's going to matter. I don't think we're good enough. I think we'll lose to United next week, and then we'll lose to, or I should say midweek because it's on a Friday, and then I think we'll lose to Liverpool. I don't think this was the game for me where we had to win to try and create a statement for the next 4 to 5 games. But it looks of it is the team and the players, and that's the thing. We can blame managers, we can blame formations. But this has been coming for a while. A game like this, and sometimes now, you really have to question the mentality and the intentions of the players themselves. We aren't a team that should be 5-0 down, irrespective of formation or the way we play. We should be. Dyer has played in the back four. Romero has played in the back four. Perisic may have not played left back, but Porro definitely has played in the right back role. They should know their positions. They should know how to play. And our defence is non-existent, as it has been all season. And I know that we all say, play more attacking football. And I know I've said it myself, play more attacking football to compensate for a lack of defence. But we shouldn't have got Richarlison. We should have paid for a proper centre-back. And like I say, I think we'd be 10 points better off if we had actually bought a centre-back instead of buying Richarlison. And the one player that I literally said was going to be non-existent in this game, Jacob Murphy, has 2 goals off 3 shots. So that goes to show how much I know about Jacob Murphy.
Yeah, man. I mean, I completely agree with you. The mentality of these players is so bad, but I guess it also comes to this being cynical and the way they have been in the club for so long. If they were not working, they know that yes, their contracts will get renewed anyways. Dyer might get a new contract. Davis recently got a new contract. They know that if they don't perform, they'll still remain in a club like Tottenham. And Tottenham is not a bad club with considering its prestige. They know that they will survive here no matter what because Daniel Levy loves the yes man mentality. He loves this kind of people who will do anything. It just doesn't matter to them. I mean, for some teams, like let's say United and all that, or other teams who win trophies consistently, their players know that if their performance lacks a little bit, it drops to a certain level, their managers would get rid of them. We saw that in Manchester City with Joe Cancelo. He was playing well, just certain drop of level, and he was starting to have problems with Pep Guardiola. They will get rotated. We don't even have the personalities to rotate the player because Daniel Levy won't buy anybody. So these average players that we have in the squad, they will stay in the team week in, week out. They won't go anywhere because they are just Levy's best friends in a way. You won't believe, actually, like some of the people who have links in the club, they were telling me that some of these players like Dyer, Davis, they are so frank with Daniel Levy. They call him Danny and all that, and they go on vacations together and drinks together and all those kind of things. Like the players just have that sort of better relationship with the chairman than what a manager has. It just says it all. Like that's why we always throw the managers under the bus.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know, but Lloris has been subbed for Forster. Just so you
Wow.
know. I don't know if it's an injury or if it's the fact that they just feel like or the Reese might have said something at halftime and just thrown in a towel. I do not know. But all I know is that Forster is on the pitch, which should have happened at the start. But Dean, I wish I was watching Expressions because he makes me laugh. But I do feel like if I watch him now, I probably will lose my head. So I'm going to watch that after this game ends and watch his reactions because I'm sure it's comical. He's a natural comedian. So if you have him on the background laughing away, by all means.
Yeah.
But what do you think we need to do? Obviously, we need to score goals. But for me, for this second half, it's also this. If I was a player, I'd be trying to perform. Because the next manager's watching this, looking at these players, if you're not playing well, they're not going to want you next season. And if Nagelsmann's a manager that I think he is, or Poch, I think there's a fair few players that this game alone has shown how poor they are and how limited in ability they are to play different formations and different styles. So, the likes of
I would actually suggest to anybody who is in North London do a protest tomorrow outside the club training ground. That's like the best time that you can do a protest, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the thing is like I said earlier on, it's people would like to do things differently. Not everyone likes to protest, but I do feel like a protest will help. It helped United, it helped Arsenal. It has helped Liverpool in the past.
It helped Newcastle even when they were under Mike Ashley.
Well, the thing is that they protested Mike Ashley for years. It just took a massive walkout, and Newcastle banding together to really like the whole club as a whole, the whole fan base. But that took over 10 years for the fan base to be on the same level. The fact is I don't think our fan base, especially with the global business. Oh my God, what is defenders doing there? That's nearly 6. What the? Those centre backs just sat there and watched the ball bounce right in front of Longstaff there. No, it wasn't Longstaff. Sorry, was that it might have been Isaac. But we need to band together as a club, as a fan base. It doesn't matter if you're Levy in, Levy out, Enoch in, Enoch out, whichever. The club is in turmoil, and we need to get together and figure out a way where everyone can push their agendas whilst also benefiting the club in a way where it's not going to tear us apart.
Yeah.
Look, like I said, I'm very much I support everyone's movements. I don't think there's a wrong way to make a change at the club. However, I also respect people need to respect each other's opinions and not force it upon others. I liken it to a religion. For me, if I'm not very religious, but if you are, I'm happy for you. But just please don't push it on other people. Not everyone thinks the same way, and that's why I do think we should do protesting. But if people don't want to do it, then that's fine. It's their
but do something about it, right?
But do something, yes, something different. Push it. At least share it. Even if you don't want to go yourself, help the people that do want to do a protest by sharing it, giving them exposure, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a direct input into a protest or a movement. It can be a secondary showing of that you support the fans themselves, not the not the actual action. You might not like the action, but at least we need to come together as a fan base, because I'm looking at it now and I don't see any way we get back into this game. Even with the change of formation, we look a little bit better defensively, but going forward, Newcastle don't have to do anything. They can just sit back now. But they're actually going for it. They're trying to go for another goal.
Yep. I told you, I won't be surprised if it would be a 6-0 or 7-0 loss for us. I don't see us scoring goals. Like, the team looks extremely demotivated at this point. I wonder what kind of halftime talk would we have had. But this defeat is just embarrassing. It's embarrassing at so
Come on,
many
Kane.
levels.
Come on, Kane. Yes, that's one. Oh, I don't know why I celebrated that, but it's one. Oh.
Yeah, well, okay, it's a goal.
Okay, so we're both wrong. We didn't say we've seen a goal, but there's a goal there. It was a great little play from Perisic to Højbjerg.
What minute are you at right now?
49th minute.
Okay, I'm kind of behind you. I'm at 48. Okay, now Kane is making that run.
Yep, he does really well.
Okay, he worked very well for that goal, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
a good
Kane did
effort.
really well there, and Kane. I knew Kane was going to score, irrespective of the scoreline. I had a feeling that Kane was going to score. He's the only one in this team that actually cares about this club.
Could it be that suddenly we might see 5 from our side?
No, unless Newcastle absolutely stuff themselves, I can't see us scoring 5. We're not that good. But like I said, we're allowed to come into the game because Newcastle don't have to do anything. They can sit back. They're not really shutting up shop though, like other teams seem to do against us. They're just kind of allowing us to play with the ball in front of them because they actually trust their defense, whereas we don't.
Okay, Newcastle are kind of like now sitting back. It looks like they are trying to defend more.
Yeah, they're not pressing this as high up the pitch as they don't need to though. That's the thing is you don't need to. You're 5-1 up.
And they have confident defenders like Fabian Schär, Kieran Trippier, the likes of Sven Botman. They would make sure that we don't score much goals.
Oh, Perisic,
so I guess
unlucky. Yeah, no, you're right. They like I said, they trust their defense. Their defense has been very good this season.
Like for us, when we even sit back down deep, we tend to concede more.
Yep, and that's why I don't understand this back three. If our centre backs can't play out from the back either. The only one that can really play out from the back is Romero. So like it's also I know defensively the back three with the wing backs. I can understand it in defense, but when we can't,
it was a good try from Perisic. I like it.
We're looking a bit, but like I said, we look okay now because Newcastle don't have to do anything. Like honestly, Newcastle just don't like. I don't think we're going to be scoring 5. I mean, I'm hoping the team proves me wrong, and that is kind of like a little jinx where Newcastle concede 5. But I can't see us scoring 5 with the way we're playing. Oh my god! Oh, that was nearly 6. Isak nearly got a fucking a hat trick then.
Yeah.
Well worked, Longstaff. Unlucky from Romero, and Isak was about, I'd say, a bee's dick away from headering that in. Forster was beat. Oh, he actually got a touch to it too. That's just unfortunate. And that's what I mean, though. We're pushing. We're looking a little bit better, and Newcastle still are getting chances because our defense is so poor. Oh, that was nearly. Oh, Kane. There's no urgency either. Like Kane's the only one asking for the ball. Like there's no one that physically wants to take this game by the scruff of the neck like Kane does. It's just annoying. He's the only one. That's a great ball. Oh,
yeah.
Lucky. Kane's the only one that wants that is like urgent. The others are just kind of like, oh, it's 5-0 down. And I get it. I've been in those situations.
I guess Kane always has that ambition. Like we know that people like Kane, Son, no matter what result, they always have head up, and they are proper professionals, unlike the other guys that we have in the team. They are winners. I mean, the rest. What can
I wouldn't say they're winners because they haven't won anything. My final thoughts. There's no final thoughts yet. The game's still going.
Yeah, man.
I mean. once the game finishes, I'll give you my final thought. But if you want me to give you my thought now, I think this is disgusted by the whole team, by the management, and ultimately it comes down to the chairman and the way the club is run as well. This was always coming, a result like this. It's just we haven't had it lately. There's no one in the box. Is that deflection? Yeah. I mean, we're moving the ball a bit better. We're seeming to find through the middle, but this header was lucky because Longstaff got in the way of it. That was going in for the goal from Dan Burn, and then it was called for offside. And once again, they've got the smallest guy, Skip, kind of marking the area where their biggest attacking threat is from a set piece.
This result will be remembered 4 times.
Yeah, well, this is reminiscent of when they beat us 5-1 with 10 men on the last day of the season when Leicester won the league and Arsenal got second because of it. This is what it feels like. I was devastated that day. We should never have lost that game. And I'm not saying that we should never have lost this game, but we should have competed at least.
Yeah.
We're not pressing at all. Bruno can just have so much time on the ball to think about where he wants to pass it. Joe Linton, ex-striker turned midfield/winger, it's been one of their best players this season. That's a great ball. Oh, I can't, sir. Thank you. Fucking hell. Isak kicks out at Romero.
Yeah.
But you got to give it to Eddie Howe and to Newcastle. They came
they have developed well. Like I don't know if you watched that show that I was doing with Steve Mahala the other day. He's a Newcastle fan, and he was sharing with me that the way Newcastle has developed so much over the years and all that. And like if you look at it, even though right now they are the richest football club in the world, but they didn't spend that much in their January transfer window, even in their summer transfer window last season. They just bought the right personnel, and that has worked for them. Eddie Howe is not a sorry.
They've done what City did. So when City got bought, they didn't go out and buy, De Bruyne or Aguero straight away. They bought the likes of Craig Bellamy and Stephen Ireland and Gareth Barry. They bought players that have been in the league for years that fits the system that they want to play, and they gradually moved up the table until they went and bought Aguero and Yaya Toure and Vincent Kompany like that. And Newcastle are doing the same thing. They're setting a good base to get them into the top 4. And the owners came in and said they want to win the Champions League or the Premier League in 10 years. They've given themselves 10 years to develop. And the way they're going, I think they can do that in 7. I don't think they're ready. I think they won't challenge for another year.
Just now on the left side, I cannot understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because he took the corner and he stayed on that left-hand side.
Probably.
But we've done that this season though. We've played Royal at left wing back, and Sessegnon at right wing back. We've done some weird stuff.
But then I'm failing to understand who was playing on the right side. Is it Kulusevski or?
It'd probably be Paris. No, Perisic is still there. I don't think Perisic is playing forward. I think he's more so. Oh, what's going on there? Poro's back on his right-hand side now.
Okay. I guess it was just for the sake of the corner then.
Yeah. And it looks like Dyer's playing as the left centre-back and Romero has taken the middle centre-back role, which is probably better because Isak will be one-on-one. That's Foster needs to. That's the thing with Newcastle at the moment. They're on a high, regardless of their results, because they are challenging for Champions League spots. Because they do know they have the backers to support them. They do know they have the support to really get behind their team, and they've had someone like Mike Ashley for so long. They're just enjoying this ride. They're all running. They're the 13th man on the pitch, or the 12th man, I should say, because it's not rugby league. but they're really the 12th man on the pitch for Newcastle. And that's why I think they're getting a lot better performances too out of a team. And you look at their team, they've got some really good players, Trippier, Guimaraes, Isak. Then they've got some really, well, I wouldn't say average, but, not, I'd say decent players. The likes of Dan Burns, the likes of Jacob Murphy, Fabian Schär, Longstaff. They're not players that you would pick in a title challenging team, but they're getting the tune out of him. And Eddie Howe's done a great job. And he, for me, if he was available, I would have taken him when Poch left, because I felt like he was doing really well at Bournemouth, but at that point he was still there before they sacked him.
Yeah.
It's we've got 30 minutes.
What do you think would be the consequences of now this embarrassing loss? Like, what can happen in the club in the next few days? What kind of interviews would we see? What kind of reaction? I mean, the fan reaction we all know would be usual, but do you think we might see some big changes coming in, some big updates coming in from the club soon?
I think Stellini might go. I think now that it's top four's at jeopardy, it's either, so what will happen is either we're gonna ride it out with Stellini, and we're gonna Levy's gonna hope that Stellini.
I think Levy already might be on the phone with some manager.
Or it's going to be Poch in the door because Nagelsmann doesn't want to come until summer, and it'll be Poch in the door ready to go because he'll get told, Poch is going to Chelsea, and then he'll be like, all right, bring him in now. Do something with this team before the end of the season. So I think that's the most likely to happen, because I know Nagelsmann wanted a break before he got back into management, and I think Poch will jump at the opportunity to come back. So I think it'll be Stellini out, Poch in. But if Poch comes in, I don't want to see Ryan Mason there. I want him to bring his own team in, like Conte did, the likes of Stephen Frond and all that on his side that he had when he was with us. But we're looking okay. Oh, that's a poor. Kulusevski's been so poor. He just seems like he's a shadow of the player he was. Putting a lot of pressure on though.
Yeah. But a big up to Eddie Howe, actually. The way he has developed this team over the years, I mean, it's wonderful. Like what we were mentioning earlier as well, when Man City, they hired Mancini. Even Mancini was not a big name back then in football. And I think he's doing exactly the same thing with that. I guess the Middle Easterns know how to do the development in the clubs. The way PSG did, the way...
No, you know what I think it is? It's not that. It's they know they don't know football. They're not football heads. So what they do is
they acknowledge the fact that they are not football heads, and then they bring in the right people to manage the footballing matters. Unlike us, who bring in Scott Mann.
I mean, Scott Mann has been a director of football out in Australia. He has managed a few teams. He's managed a rugby league team. So he knows sport in general, but for me, he wouldn't. I don't know much about him, so I don't know if he's a good football head or not. But that's the thing, is that the Saudis do it really well. Is they buy a club, they give them the money, but they also employ the right employees to build the club from the ground up in terms of philosophy, ethos. They help with the local area to win the fans over. They don't charge through the roof to get their money back. Yeah. They know they don't need to. Whereas we have an accountant who's running the club, and he wants to control everything, because at the end of the day, he knows that if he lets someone else control it, they may not make as much profit as opposed to winning on the pitch. And I'm sorry, he can say he's a Tottenham fan all he wants. No Tottenham fan.
Apparently, he's a Chelsea fan, by the way. That's why he hired all the Chelsea managers.
I mean, he can say that. For me, if you're a Tottenham fan and you're looking at the last 10, 15 years, if I was a chairman of Tottenham, and I'm quite humble when it comes to this, I would step down and say I'm not good enough. I need someone that's going to make this club win. And I would step down myself, but he just doesn't. He's so up himself that he...
22 years of failure. Like, in what job do you get that much a margin of error?
Well, Tottenham Hotspur, it's already been proven. And Son, hit it. Oh, unlucky. Oh, Porro. Fuck. Son nearly got a shot. It was blocked by Botman, though. Someone that we could have bought. We were linked with Sven Botman, and we didn't go for him when he was. I think it was at Lille, wasn't he, or Nice? I know he was in the French league, and then we just allowed him to go to Newcastle.
Yeah.
There's so many players even in this Chelsea team. We could have gotten Isak, we could have gotten Trippier, we could have gotten Botman, we could have got Bruno Guimaraes. We have the pedigree to get these type of players, and our recruitment's so poor.
It is poor. Like, I don't know what to say, seriously. This football club is an embarrassment in many ways.
You're right, Lee. It's not also you need to have the Tottenham DNA in your blood. You don't, not just the fan. And I say this all the time. There's times where I don't want to watch Tottenham, but I can't help myself. I'll tell myself I'm not waking up. I'm not doing a watch along. I'm not going to get up for this game. And then if I know there's a chance that I can do it, I'll do it. And I don't know what it is. It's a disease, and it kills me at times to sit here and watch this. Like even now, I'm being quite calm because I think I expected this result.
And he has a fan alongside him who is not a fan of back four.
Well, I mean, I don't think back four would have changed the result, or back five.
Yeah, I think you make much more sense compared to some other people.
For me,
with that particular point of yours.
Well, I know the back four. I was calling for back four, but for me, this isn't the time to play it. We don't have the players to play it, and that's why I've stopped. After Conte and after he had the injuries to Royal and Davies, I kind of just left it and was like, "There's no point because it's not going to work with the players that we have that are available." And it's proven today that we should have just went for a 5-5-3-2. In my honest opinion, if we weren't going to play Danjuma up front. So right now we should be chucking on Richarlison and Danjuma if we want to win this game.
Exactly.
But we're not. We're sticking with the same players. We've changed a goalkeeper and we've changed a centre back, and that's it.
Yeah, because you don't have that option. Like Langley is not match fit at the moment. Davis is not available. I don't know what I heard that Davis and Langley on the bench.
Yeah. They both are.
They both
but
are.
For me though, you say that, but we can take off Kulu for Danjuma because Kulu's done nothing today.
Okay, yes. Davis
we can take off.
We
can take off Højbjerg, or I would take off Skip because he's on a yellow, and then chuck Kane and just have Højbjerg defend, and Kane can drop deeper and have Richarlison in front of him. We can make these changes, and I know everyone the damage is already done, so why not just try and go all out? 65th minute. We've only got 25 minutes to go.
So Almiron and Wilson are coming on. Isaac is going off.
Yeah, so that's Almiron's on a good, decent form this season. So that's and he's about to get the ball, and they scored again. And they scored again. It's 6-1, guys.
I think I'm kind of behind you, but I expected that from who scored, by the way?
Wilson. He's just come on, literally. And what it was Almiron got on the edge of the box, ran into the box, going to take a shot. Defender came out and deflected in, and it rolled straight to Wilson, and Wilson just slotted it away like it was nothing. Longstaff gets it, feeds it out to Tripp. Tripp feeds it back to Almiron. Almiron was teeing up for a shot. Perisic pushes him, and deflection off Romero straight into Wilson, and Romero actually kept him on side too because he was further back in the line than he should have been.
This is another problem at Spurs. We don't know how to keep the strikers offside. We need to work on that area. Like always, I saw it with the likes of Dyer, even Romero. Like we don't know how to play the offside rule to our advantage.
That's because no one's coming in the line.
I wonder if these guys are real defenders or not. Like we were discussing this morning as well, that firstly, a lot of them, they don't know how to make tackles. Secondly, is it...
Sanchez is making more forward runs than Kulusevski is.
Exactly.
So we seem to have this stigma of playing centre backs that run beyond the striker, and it makes no sense. Kulusevski could get sent off too, the way he's playing. I would take him off now. I don't understand why Stellini isn't making more changes.
I guess he has just given up on this game. Likewise, the players.
So this is why everyone ragged on Mourinho, but Mourinho would be making changes. He would have made he dropped Dyer, and we won that game.
Even Conte would have made changes.
Yeah, this he would have. This scoreline, he definitely would have. They're making more changes. They're bringing on more players.
You see, that's another thing that I don't like about Spurs is we don't have the players for the fresh legs in the second half as well. Like what? Why are they singing a Judas song?
And Trippier. So they're gearing up for next week. I think Fuller needs to be dropped for next game. I think he hasn't done anything today. Again, shout out Jerry. How are you, brother?
I think if we were to lose to Man United in the next game, it will be our worst run of losses after a long time. We haven't lost 3 games in a row for quite long.
I think our last losses was when we did the North London. We lost to West Ham, Chelsea. Is it West Ham?
No, it was Palace, Chelsea, and Arsenal.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that was last.
Earlier this season, or was it last season?
It was last season.
Yeah, it was,
2021.
So I mean, it's not that much of a record, like in terms of longevity. Kane, that's a great tackle by Kane. Son's just not getting anything today either.
Son has tried quite a bit. I mean, I would say.
No, Son is definitely trying, and it's just hit Kane on the back. And I think Kane only hasn't injured himself. So this is what I mean. Now, Højbjerg's walking. Oh, it's because he's kicking it out.
I hope it's not a bad injury for Kane.
Nah, it's not an injury. He landed awkwardly, but he was back on his feet running. It just looked. I thought it was going to be one of those games where Kane just gets an injury and then we lose him for the rest of the season. And that will really.
Well, we have nothing to play for the next season, anyways.
So Shah looks like he's injured now. Oh, we're bringing on. Who are we bringing on?
Richarlison has.
Danjuma's coming on.
Only
Danjuma. Kulu's coming off, which should have happened in the first half. Jerry, I mean, defensively we've been poor, so there's nothing Lloris could have done for any of those. I mean, we probably could have done the shot from Jacob Murphy for his second goal. I feel like Lloris should have made a move for the ball. Lloris is, we here at Total Hotspurs, we call him the statue because he seems to always watch the ball in the back of the net. Every second game, he seems to watch a shot go in. However, I do feel like he could have done better on one or two of the shots. But at the end of the day, like, what was going to change? The defense is poor. Defense is really, really poor. And what, if you could have had, Buffon in there, you could have had the likes of Schmeichel in there, and I think we still would have conceded 5 or 6. So I don't think I think Lloris starting was a bad call, but I don't think he was at fault for really any of the goals. I think it's just the defense. We allowed them, and the center mids, like no one was tracking. No one. Romero didn't come out on the first 2 goals. Højbjerg and Skip both backed off. I just think you can't put this result down to the goalkeeper today. And I'm going to say it. I'm an avid Lloris retirement caller, but for now, I don't think Lloris was at fault for anything. Waste of a substitution. We should have had attackers coming on. You're not down 5-0 or 5-1 at half time. And bring Rice back in, and then you don't bring off a goalkeeper when you're 5-0 down when he really wasn't at fault for any of the goals. In my eyes, I feel like it was.
It was overall defensive liabilities. I would say, like the back line is not clicking together. First of all.
I just think, we got Dyer who's passed it. I don't even know how he makes the England squad. I think that Southgate's just got this stigma about shit centre-backs that he thinks he can make better.
Maguire makes it.
Yeah, well, people will be like, "Oh, let's go and get Maguire from United." What, we want two duds in the back? Dyer and Maguire are literally two guys cut from the same cloth.
Exactly.
Then you add in slow legs of Lenglet, Davies, who's consistently average, but he's consistent. Sanchez, who barely has a good game, and Tanganga, who just seems to not be getting a look in. I personally would try Tanganga with Romero and Lenglet because he's a bit quicker. He's kind of like a Romero kind of build in terms of he's quick or quicker than our centre backs. So I don't see why that can't work. We don't even Dyer doesn't get dropped. He got dropped for one game and got brought back in, and we won, I think, the game that he got dropped for. So I just think today's all on defensive and midfield. Formation was wrong. Personnel was wrong for the formation. I think 4-3-3 can work if we have the right players, but not if we have Pedro and Perisic, who both can't defend, with Dyer, who doesn't defend, and Romero, who's a red card waiting to happen. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of the most embarrassing games I think I have ever watched as a Spurs fan. Yeah, this is the most embarrassing game. Actually, even statistically and the goal wise, I think I haven't watched the worst game than this as a Spurs fan. But I haven't been a Spurs fan longer than that.
I've seen some pretty poor games. I mean, for me, embarrassing would be the Battle of the Bridge. The way that our players acted that game, I know we were pissed off, and Chelsea, beat us in that game when we could have challenged Leicester for the league. But the way our players was super aggressive. For me, it's different for each person. Some people loved it. I didn't like it that much. I felt like it was we could have won that game if we actually played. But I expected us to lose. I just didn't expect us to be 5-0 down at halftime or 5-1 down at halftime. I can't even remember if we scored a goal before halftime. Unlucky. That's just bad communication between Danjuma and Son there. Son's trying. I give it to him. He really is trying. Him and Kane are the only two that are really trying for me. Skip's been quiet.
Perisic looked good, I think, today in making some of his runs, but again, his finishing, as usual, has been poor.
Yeah, but for me, he can't be playing in that. He should be playing in Son's role. He shouldn't be playing as a left wing back. He's not a left wing back. You can play it in Italy when, Italy sides are quiet. They're good defensively, so he can attack more. But in our system, English, especially English wingers, they're quick. The likes of Saka, Salah, you got Diaz, you got Mudryk, you got, I'm not talking about football ability, just pace in general.
Yeah, just the pace itself. Yeah. Like even Ryan Sessegnon, even though he's not that great as a player, as a wing back, but he can actually cope up with the pace with the likes of Saka, Salah.
Yeah.
Who else do we have? Chelsea, Mudryk. He can do that.
You've got so many wingers in this league that are not pace machines, but they have
Saint-Maximin is a very good winger as well.
Yeah, I'm glad he wasn't playing today because he would have tore us apart.
Yeah, he's not playing today. But he's a great winger as well on that end. Kane himself is quite fast when he's on it. Haaland, the strikers. The Premier League itself is a fast league. But Perisic would have worked, like, let's say, if Conte was given the choices of his centre-backs, like if he had De Vrij or Skriniar alongside Bastoni or someone like Guardiola, those kind of centre-backs, if we would have gotten them in summer, I think Perisic's move would have worked for Conte as well.
Probably, because he wouldn't have had to defend as much as he is now.
Yeah, back three, then the back three defend the three, they mark the three forwards. But right now, I think our wingbacks are doing kind of like a double the effort of the job. So in a way, it's really not working for us.
And they're on the counter, and we've only got two back there, and it's Skip and Højbjerg, and they got four.
Yeah.
And it was nearly 7. Perisic. They should have scored there. It's a great counter. They got us on the break. I will give it to Forster. He came out and shut down the angle. And then Perisic luckily got a touch in front of Wilson to stop him from scoring. Once again, guys, make sure you, if you're liking Elias and you're liking what he's saying, please go over to his YouTube channel, Step Up Spurs. Like and subscribe to the channel and hit up all his videos. Make sure you catch him live tomorrow on Tottenham away. Used to be Will Stewart 365. He'll be live there tomorrow. As I understand, 10:30 or 10 o'clock Australian Standard Time. So
yeah, around there, 10 to 10:30 around that time.
1 o'clock in the morning for you in the UK. And make sure you're going over to his channel and giving him support.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. And make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to Total Aussie Spurs as well. Like, this guy is doing some great work with the content. I think you're the only Australian Spurs channel I know at the moment. Do you know anybody else from Australia who does streams for Spurs?
I think they just join they do fan cams. They don't actually have their own channel that I know of, but I haven't really looked into it. It's more I'm trying to focus on my own, on our content as opposed to other, far out. Oh, I think there you go. But no, I'm happy to collab with any Australian channel or fans that are out there that want to come.
I know another guy in our community. His name is Bryce. I don't know if you know him. He's a Spurs fan from Australia. He sometimes joins us in wheelchair streams. And he's the only Australian I know other than you, who's a Spurs fan. There are a couple of others, like Paul Beatty is another one, Shamu is another one. But I didn't know any channel before that.
Yeah, there's a few of us out here. It's just it's really hard to get onto channels with the timing and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, like that's a struggle for me as well. Like when I have to do streams, it have to be either early morning for me or very late at night for you to get off with the timings.
Looks like Richarlison's coming on, but Dan Jum is down. I don't think he's injured. I just think he's just taken a knock to his shin.
Last 10 minutes, what can he do now?
That's what I mean, though. There should have been a 65th minute substitution. All that studs up from Joe Linton. But it was an accident, though. It came up from...
Actually, somebody said that Conte's brother has left, but I just saw Conte's brother back in the dugout.
I'm not sure. I don't...
I think he has two brothers. He has two brothers. I saw Conte's brother in the dugout just now.
And who is that? I think we have Lee. Lee has joined the stream.
What's happening, boys?
What's happening, Lee?
Hi, Lee.
Hi, mate.
Hey, mate. Hi, Elias. What's happening, Jay?
Hello.
You look tired, mate. What's going on?
Yeah, you know what? I'm tired of this shit, to be honest.
We all are.
I mean, you can see it now. These guys.
I've got work in the morning, and I'm watching this.
Should have gone to sleep, bro. Seriously, don't waste time over this shit.
Nah, Tottenham till I die.
We just like to suffer, right? I mean, with the suffering that we go through as a Tottenham fan. Okay, some Tottenham fans left after 20th minutes with their side already 5-0 down.
Though. If you travel 5 hours to Newcastle and your team's 5-0 down at 20 minutes, what would you stay?
Oh, that's quite a number of fans, actually. I'll share the link with you, Jason. I'll share the link with you. It's quite a number.
I would have left, and that's not because I don't support the team. It's because, this is on a Sunday. Oh, Lee's gone. This is on a Sunday afternoon. You could be spending time with your family, with your friends, and you're stuck here watching your team get absolutely demolished.
Yeah, man.
Sonny's off. Richarlison is on. I don't understand this either.
I guess they're trying to conserve energy for the United game now for some of the crucial players.
To me, it doesn't make any sense.
I think to me it makes sense. The game is gone. Just preserve the energy a bit.
Yeah, look, I understand the sentiment, but I also think that we should have went for the game at 65th minute instead of waiting to bring on Richarlison late. It just makes no sense. This is where I question every manager that we've had, apart from Mourinho. He was the only one that would make the drastic change to win a game He wouldn't worry about the next game. He'd take one game at a time. And I feel like, there was a point at a time if we had just chucked everything at it and we lost 7-2, 8-3, I would have been like, you know what, at least we tried to go for the game. But now it's more of we're kind of just, I guess we're looking at the United game, but we shouldn't be bowing out like this, especially against Newcastle, who are, fighting for that top four. And there's players there on the pitch that shouldn't be on. Son's been one of our best players today, even though everyone's been poor. We take him off, but Skip's on the yellow. Højbjerg hasn't been great. We replaced the goalkeeper when we really needed to score a goal. But I understand we have United next, and Dean's not going to like it. But I hope we go to United. I think they're coming.
Plus it's a midweek. Plus it's a midweek game, so you don't have much days left.
We've only got 4 days. It's on a Friday. Newcastle
Friday,
going down
so
like
not too bad. It's a Friday for us, but I think it's a Thursday for those guys in UK.
Yeah, it's a Friday morning. It's Thursday afternoon, it feels like a Europa League game.
So they only have 3 days in a way, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, and then, but if it's preparing us for next season because we're definitely going to be in Europa or Conference. But you never know. We might even drop so far as 8th. The way we're playing, the way Villa are playing at the moment, Liverpool have picked up form. Brighton can still there and about. We might even drop down to 8th with the way we're playing. Dean, that's hopeful thinking. If we're 28th out of 20 teams, you're probably right. This showing today, especially the first half, but the first 20 minutes, it's the worst I've seen us play in 5 years, and we've had some pretty poor
it's
the
quite
last
bad.
few years.
When was the last time we lost with a 5-goal margin?
I can't remember. It's been a while. I actually don't know. I'll be honest. It's been that long that I don't know. Look at the stats though. Newcastle had 24 shots as opposed to our 10. We played a more attacking formation and we didn't create anywhere near as much as we need to. Yeah, no, Dean, you're not wrong. West Ham are so far down, but they're playing fairly well, and they're 4-0 up. It seems like they've just totally changed their season. One of the guys that works as a West Ham supporter, Dad's from Kent, and he'll be loving that result. Shout out to Daniel. But I don't even know what to say. All I know is when I see Delane on the next match review, he will be losing his shit. That's it. Like no one's pressing. No one. They know the game's done, so they're just trying to conserve energy. Richarlison's not chasing like he usually does. Dan Jim is not pressing like he usually does. I think we're just trying to see the game out and not concede. But Newcastle, like, they're going to score at any point. They're playing the ball around like they're prime Barcelona. So shout out to all the guys that stayed in the chat and stayed on the live stream and stayed watching the game. I mean, you could have all.
I applaud you more for watching the game.
Yeah, you could have went to bed if you're in Australia, if you're in the eastern side of the world, opposed to where England is, or you could have went out about your day. Spent time with your family, went out to dinner or lunch, but you stayed and watched this absolute shit. Good ball. Oh, Dan Juma nearly scored. Unlucky. That was a great ball by Richarlison.
It is unlucky.
It would have been quite hilarious if Dan Juma gets three sub appearances and 3 goals. That would be quite hilarious. But it was straight at Pope, though. It was a great shot. I think if you just went to either side of Pope, that was in the power on that he had. That's unlucky. And I saw the video you sent of the Tottenham fans walking away, and
It's quite a number, right? Like, I mean, for away fans, that's quite a big number.
yeah, it's like I said, you travel 5.5, 6 hours to go watch that. You don't even see your team compete. You're 5-0 down in 20
Nah,
minutes. Why would you stay?
They are, I know we are bad, but let's not be too unrealistic that West Ham will take over us with their points this season.
I mean, he's a United fan, so he's hoping we play like this on Friday. So
Well, actually,
he's
West Ham are
hoping.
not that far mathematically. They have to win 7 more games. 7 times 3 would be 21. So it's 55. And if we were to lose every single game now, then yeah, it's possible.
Well, if
not
we're playing
realistic.
like this, I wouldn't be surprised if we did. We actually have to play West Ham, I'm pretty sure, as well. Actually, we might not have. No, I don't think we do. I think we have last game of the season is Leeds. So we don't have to play West Ham again. The last 6 games of the season, I see us winning many of them. I think the only game we might win is Leeds and Crystal Palace. I can't see us beating Brentford. I can't see us beating Villa. I can't see us beating Liverpool, and I can't see us beating United with the way we're playing.
Yeah, man. Sir,
And-
from the 6 inches in my cornhole. What's that?
I think
That's
that's
so
just
funny,
the troll YouTube account.
The trolls really help us, by the way, guys. Actually, I sometimes entertain some of these trolls a bit. And I convert them into being like regular fans sometimes. I have some Arsenal trolls, they come in. There was this guy, he was messing around with me in one of the streams. I blocked him. Later on, he came to another stream and then he was like, why haven't you blocked me here? I'm the same guy from Resident. I'm like, now you are behaving, so why would I block you? Then since then, he never misbehaved with me.
Yeah, but I think that was more of a complete troll where they weren't even going to say anything. And the thing is, I don't entertain it because I don't like to have that kind of thing. But Lee, to your predictions for the rest of the last few games. So I think we'll lose to United, we'll lose to Liverpool, we'll beat Crystal Palace, we'll probably draw with Aston Villa, we'll probably draw with Brentford, and we'll beat Leeds. So out of our last, 2, 4, 6 games, I think we'll get 5 to 6 points, if that. With the way that we're playing, we might end up having Poch might come in, or a manager might come in, and we might get the new manager bounce, because I think that's what's going to happen, because Levy's going to shit himself that we're not getting the Champions League money. And I think it's already done. I think this game was the game we had to show if we were going to make top 4, and I don't think I think Newcastle it's already set. Newcastle, United, Man United, Arsenal, and City will be the top 4. And I think 5th will probably be, looking at the table, will probably be Liverpool, Aston Villa, because Villa are on a really good vein of form. However, Brighton do have 3 games in hand, and they're only 4 points behind us. So if everyone wins their games in hand, we will be sitting 7th. And that would be 2 points ahead of Villa, which I'm worried. I think we'll probably be in Europa or Conference. We actually might win a trophy there if we go to Conference, because that'll be the only cup that we'll actually might be able to win. But we thought that last year and got knocked out by Mura. So
yeah, man. The knocked out by Mura was another. I think that was another worst result I remember.
Yeah, well, that was a team that was ranked like 230th or something in Europe. Oh, Perisic, just feed it. Just put it in the box. Don't worry about it. That's it. Game done. I think game's over now. Oh, no. Just run it off. And that's game, guys. Tottenham 6.
Yep.
6. Newcastle 6, Tottenham 1. Disgusting game. Thomas Martin, I was born in England, but I moved out to Australia when I was 10. Been here 20 years. That's probably why you can't hear any glimpse of English accent in my voice. But going on to the game, there's not much to really say. Elias, are you doing a post-match stream after this?
Yep. So I'm going to this channel called the Hotspur Hood. It's run by one of my friends, Tommy. I'll be there with him. And there's a Conte out fan there. His name is Perchi. I think you know Perchi. He's going to be there.
Yes, I know Perchi.
I'm going to have a conversation with him. I'm going to have an
That'll be
interesting
fun.
conversation with him because he was with me on another stream a couple of days ago and he was saying for the back four and all that. So I can't wait to talk to him. I think the stream has already started, so I'll be there in a short while. But before that, I'll see if Football Terrace get me on today, then I'll be there before I go to Tommy's stream, and then maybe via Tottenham TV. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So you heard it here. If you are free, if you're not too tired to go to bed, and you want to hear some rants and from some Tottenham fans, go over to Hotspur Hood, where you'll be seeing Elias over there. If he's not on the Football Terrace. Shout out to everyone who hung around and stayed for this absolutely disgusting display.
Big up to every single one of you from Australia who stayed up to watch this shit. I really applaud you guys. I have a lot of respect for you. It's me, I think, like 10:55 a.m., which is not 10:55 p.m., which is not too late, but I can imagine 1 a.m. can be quite late when especially you have to work next day. I salute you guys, seriously. Big up to every single one of you.
And before we head off, Thomas Martin, I am a Western Sydney Wanderers supporter. I don't really support them that much, but that is my local team out in Sydney. That's where I live in Australia. But shout out to Elias. Thank you very much for coming on. And thank you to everyone that joined us. Stay safe. Take it easy. Catch us next time on our match preview. And as always here, as we say at Total Spurs, stay Spursy.
Levy out.